Hi, everybody. It is Laura, and I am bringing you another haul video. It was a 50% off day at our unique thrift, and I didn't think we were going to be able to go because we were supposed to be helping somebody move some stuff today, but that didn't end up happening. So a friend of mine reminded me about 50% off days, so we ended up making a decision to go. And I got some neat stuff and I got some weird stuff. We also, earlier this morning, someone wants to headbutt my computer. Earlier this morning, we got an amazing mid-century bar. It's like one of those tufted, it's an aqua colored vinyl. It's amazing. I'm going to put a photo up on Instagram of it after I'm done doing this. But my phone's over there right now, so I'm not doing it. I apologize for the angle, but it's been dark for like a month, so this is kind of the best lighting I've got. So let me see what I can show you. The first thing I picked up was some jadeite, which I'm always super excited about because I don't find jadeite that often. I feel like there are some things that you can sort of find regionally, and I used to find tons of Pyrex where I live, like good Pyrex, not crappy Pyrex. But I really almost never find jadeite, so I get super excited when I do find a piece. So this, I'm not kidding, I didn't even look for marks or anything. It's an old bowl for a mixer, and it does have some chippiness. It's got some chips there, and a little bit, it's like rough edged, basically. It does not have any markings as far as manufacturers, you know. It's got some utensil marks inside. It was marked as 15 bucks, but I paid $7.50, which was not terrible. I will most likely try to sell it, but if I got stuck keeping it, gosh darn, I have to keep it. So that was item number one. And I just tried looking some of them up, and I think on Etsy they have them listed around 30 bucks, so it's not terrible. I didn't really take too close of a look to see what kind of condition those were listed in, but that's what I've got. So let's see. Where's my stuff? Okay. Trying to figure out what I've got. All right, so I have a new friend that I made at the thrift store. And it's a woman who had approached me once just because I was wearing something cool. I don't remember what it was. And so I've seen her in there a couple of times. She's very chatty, super nice. Her name is Cheryl. And she has, in the past, she used to sell a lot of vintage stuff on eBay. And I think we're talking like many years ago. And she had more experience. She basically learned how to sell to buyers in lots. So she would post stuff, have somebody buy like a 50s dress, and then she would just say to them, hey, are you interested in this kind of stuff in bulk? Like I have, whatever. And then she would sell them lots of whatever. So she and I chat when I see her in there, and we exchanged phone numbers a couple of weeks ago. And so she was the one that I texted her a photo this morning of the bar that we got. And she was like, oh, I'm over at Unique right now. They have 50% off. Are you coming? And I was like, oh, maybe. So, you know, we actually went like 2 hours later and she was still there. But she found this thing and was holding it for me, which is awesome. So it's, as you can see, a vintage ice cube tray. And it's really adorable because these are just individual little cups that pop out of this, you know, plastic tray thing. And obviously it's got original packaging, which is super cool. So this was $2.70, but I got that for 50% off. So it's adorable. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to try and sell it, of course. And she knows that I sell stuff and, you know, she doesn't care if I'm selling it. So use one or more cubes as needed. Each cube pops right out. Tray designed for stacking. It's so ridiculous. I love it. Jello shots. Very cool. Anyway. Then I got these ridiculous looking things. These things are crazy. And yes, things because there's 2 of them. So I don't know if these are just some weird embroidery things or what. I mean, I'm assuming it's like a little man with a stick, and it is. It's like embroidered, or I don't know what kind. I mean, I don't know the terminology that's appropriate for this type of needlework, but I thought it was really cool. I saw her first and I grabbed her because I was like, wow, that's funky and weird, and like weird enough that I could just hang it on my wall. And then I saw him a few minutes later. I was like, oh, so I am going to try to sell them. But again, and the frames are cool, although very beat up, but that's okay. That's neat. And they were $3.50 each. So I basically paid $3.50 for the pair because 50% off day. So that was cool. I have no idea if I try to list these. I don't know. Probably, I mean, I think around 20 bucks. I don't know. I'd have to look it up and see. I don't know if there's something that's way cooler than what I'm thinking. I'm so sorry. God bless you. I've got Elvis on my lap. Right before I was about to start this video, he was sleeping soundly, had nothing going on. As I'm setting up to do this video, he gets up and starts yowling. You guys know how pleasant that is. You've heard it. So I just went and picked him up and put him on my lap. So, hey, Booba. I know, Rabbit. All right. So this is another thing that my friend Cheryl found for me. And it's this weird little picture of this dog family. And this dog, I cannot remember his name. I have to look him up. There was a cartoon character dog that was popular around the 30s and 40s. And his name is either Bosco or Bonzo or something like that. I had a pair of salt and pepper shakers with him on it once. So, you know, I took this because of that. I thought it was cute. I don't know if this is a postcard or something, but it's adorable. And this was $2.70, so $1.35. So whatever. I mean, even if I put that up for like 10 bucks on Etsy, it's cute. It's cute. All right, this other thing might be a little bit, I might have to wait. I'm gonna wait on that because I got like an old, I don't know if it's old. I got a light kit sort of thing. So it's in this big box. And it has 4 light bulbs attached to like a centralized bar. This might be something more for filmmaking. I tried to look it up on eBay. One of the light bulbs in the kit is broken. So this is what it looks like. And then this bar opens up, but I don't want to unwrap everything. So these 4 floodlights. So this cost me $7.50 because of 50% off day. And so I basically got it to try to use for myself for lighting. So my boyfriend thinks this is going to be way too bright, which is very possible that it will be. Hold on, I have to see if I can. Okay. It may be too bright, but I was thinking of attaching it more towards my ceiling, and that way the shadow is a little bit, I mean, I'm using a ceiling light right now for me, and it makes the shadow a little bit more bearable than coming straight forward, but we'll see. For $7.50, it was pretty easy, and I can always flip it. The one that's listed on eBay right now with no broken light bulbs is 45 bucks, I think, for sale. I didn't see any solds of this style. So, all right, and now I've gotten some clothing. So these I picked up. I didn't look up any comps on them, but they're Tommy Hilfiger. And the stuff of Tommy's that's doing well, as I've been learning from Vogue Squared, is the stuff with this branding stuff on it, right? So I literally saw these hanging somewhere and grabbed them. I was kind of like getting ready to go. So these were, they cost me $3.50. And I didn't look at what size they are. They're a size 40. I think they're hideous, but you know, I think that they'll sell. So I don't know what they're going for, but I know they're going to go for more than $3.50. So I feel like probably like a $25 range, but I'll look it up. This thing I got because it's ridiculous. I want to say that this is probably like a 70s thing. So this is like some sort of weird hat. It's like, I think it's like a sort of like a scarf, but that you would wear around your head like a hat, but it's just made to only be the hat. And it's of course got a price tag on it. It was $1.50 after the discount. And that's a very unfortunate placement. This is sexy. Look at this. Bet you all are jealous. That's my scarf. It's nice. You like it? $1.50. Okay. I don't know, maybe like a little Rhoda type of deal there going on. I don't know. I had to get it. It was kind of weird. All right, let me see. This thing is not clothing, but it's wrapped in the clothing. And, oh wait, yes, I forgot about this thing. I have another thing that should be wrapped in my clothing too. This little weird planter thing. I don't pick planters up very much anymore because I was on a planter craze for a while, but then I just kind of wasn't able to get rid of them anymore. But this was really cute. And it's not showing the color super well, but it's like, it's all right, Buddha. It's like a pastel blue and then pink bow and pink flower. And it does have one of the foil tags on the bottom. It is, I can't even read what this is. I'm going to try and peel the price sticker off. That's not really the direction I wanted to peel. And I want to try and peel it off without, yes. So this is cool. It's got a foil sticker and it's stamped, although it does have a crack that I did not see, which is super, oh man, this blows. This is what happens when you don't shop carefully because it's cracked. I think I can still, I know I can still sell it. And because it was $2.70, still again, $1.35. Even if I sell it cheap, I'm not losing much money. But anyway, this is the bottom. So you can see it's got that like embossed, and then the foil label. Let me see if I can make this focus on the label. Kind of. I'm not familiar with this maker. I want to say it says Rulin's Originals. It's made in Japan, which is always a good thing. But you can see the crack. Maybe you can't. You should be able to. Right here. And then, whatever. I'm sure you're like, no, I have to see the crack. It's cracked. So, but it's cute. So even if I had that up on Etsy for like 10 bucks or something. All right, this is possibly vintage, but not old vintage. It's maybe like 80s. But it's a super heavy beaded blouse, and it's fully beaded with glass beads. I don't even know if it's 8. It might even be more modern than that, but this can go up on eBay. So that's the tag. And the size 12. And this was $3 after the discount. So hello. I really, you have to. So, and this kind of stuff, like, I don't know what this is designed for. Like, I don't know if it's meant to be worn as formal wear, but I think this kind of stuff looks fantastic with like a ripped up pair of boyfriend jeans and, rolled up at the ankle with like some chunky, weird black Doc Martens looking boots, and maybe a denim jacket thrown over it. Like, I think that would look fantastic. So let's see. Then there is this sweater. I thought this sweater was incredible. It's got like, it's very hard to see. It's got like some sort of scenery kind of printed onto it, like a painting. And it's that famous painting, I think, where they're all sitting back by the lake or whatever. I don't know what it's called. I think it's like a pointillism painting. That's a little bit more indicative of. This does not have a brand on it. This was $5 at 50% off, so I paid $2.50 for it, which, dude, I think you have to. This is the only tag that I've located, so it's really just washing instructions. But the sweater is great. I really thought it was pretty. I think it will be a nice sell. And I would put this up on Etsy. It's sort of the Etsy type of style, in my opinion. And I don't know. Again, my normal like $30 sort of price range, I think, on that. It was pretty. Ooh! I just noticed this. It's new old stock, and you can't tell because I've got stuff covering it. Is that focusing yet? That says Bloomingdale's, in case you can't tell, because it won't freaking focus on this tag. But it's Bloomingdale's. That's so cool. It's awesome. I'm excited about that. So this reminded me of my friend Hazel Hart's vintage. Her name is Kayla. It is, I can't tell if there's a date on the bottom of this. This mug is by Carlton Cards. So it looks 80s to me. You think it's easy being a bitch. I don't know if I'm going to sell this yet. I'll probably sell it, but I might keep it and use it for a little while. This cost me 50 cents, which is great. And I like all of the old glass mugs, like the Jadeite and the Delphite and the old Fire King mugs and stuff. I love drinking out of those. But this is just too cool. So, you know, it's pretty awesome. So I'll probably eventually sell it, but I might enjoy it a little while first. I'm definitely going to put up a reseller mug club post on Instagram with that. All right, let's see. I can see that someone joined the chat, but I don't have my phone to be able to open the chat, so I apologize. I don't know if I can. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to try and move my little window here, and then I don't know what this does if I do stuff here. I don't know if this interrupts my, I hope not. Okay. I don't know if this, my, hope not. There, okay. So, hey pickers. All right, now I've got some chat open. Let me just rearrange my computer a little bit. Come here. Come here. All right, so I think that I'm good there. Okay, so what's that? Oh, Elvis just got off my lap. I'm so sorry, sir. All right, continuing on. So this I picked up. I don't think this is a particularly exciting. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think this is a particularly exciting piece, but this is old Victoria's Secret. So it's just like a silk, and I think it is actually silk. I know, Bubba. And wash separate. Yes, it's 100% silk, and you know it's a bustier top. So and it's nice and smooth in the front. It's got boning in the front, elastic in the back. All the elastic seems to be in good shape, but it's got the really old school Victoria's Secret tag, and I think that that's a popular thing. I paid $3 for this, so not bad at all. And I had purchased a bra recently, so I've put that up on Poshmark, which I wasn't going to do, but I stuck it up there. We'll see what happens. And it's hard because on Poshmark, you can pick the brand of either vintage or the actual brand, but I chose to list it as vintage with the brand instead of Victoria's Secret because so much Victoria's Secret stuff is, you know, the modern stuff that I don't think is attractive. This thing is so ridiculous and awesome. This is, I think it's cotton, and it is an oversized and hideous looking dress. Look at this thing. It's just cool. So look at that long pointed collar. And it's really like a housecoat dress. That's all it is. It's big. It's got a pocket, but the pocket is not super roomy, which is a disappointment, especially on something this big. The other thing is it does not have buttons. And what is happening here? There were definitely some buttons at some point in time because there are buttonholes. But then someone seems to have sewn up the front. So I don't know. Oh no, there's a hole. That's all right. It's still so cool. Somebody's gonna buy it anyway. I think that some of the buttons were faux, and like it looks like it just folded over and buttoned, but it didn't. The buttons did not actually. I don't know. It's hard to tell if somebody just sewed this up. Some of it definitely was just pinned closed. It's a little bit crazy. I don't know what was done originally and what has been recreated here, but it's still cool. The print is amazing. The collar is fantastic. This is the tag. It does say all cotton. It smells weird, but that's the tag. It's very cool. And you can see it says it was $8, but I paid $4 because it was 50% off day. It was made in Hong Kong, which is awesome as well. So this is super cute. I think even with that hole, the pattern is so vibrant and the fabric is so sort of new seeming that, oh, I see what happened here. Something, I don't know what, actually, I don't know what happened. Whatever. There's holes here that I didn't see because, again, I don't check things clearly enough. So there's actually 2. And they're on either side of this make-believe buttonhole here. So I don't know if there was a button there. I don't know what the hell they did with this thing. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to sew stuff up and they jacked it. It's like, whatever. So that can actually just be sort of fixed up, I think, by somebody with skills, which I don't have, but someone does, and they would love this. I have a section on Etsy called TLC, and there's not very much in it currently, but it's for pieces sort of like this that are awesome, but that have some issues and they need some attention. So I'll probably stick this in the TLC section. So that's pretty cool. Then this dress was pretty cute and cheap. This was also $3. The brand is Albert Nippon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's the brand. I feel like this is still a modern brand because I was familiar with the name, but not with the label looking that way. And I have the waist all tied up really tight, but it's basically like sort of like a wrap dress. And this is what the pattern looks like. It's a gauzy kind of cotton. It's very thin. And you know, it was cute. It's a cute little simple cottony kind of dress with this belt. And the belt is neat because it's got the actual fabric belt, but then these long ties. So I liked it. $3, it wasn't too terrible. And actually the front has some, so it's mostly floral, but it's got this like stripy sort of, let's see, there we go. They've liberated her somewhat. So see, it's got this like stripy kind of pattern. God bless America. This does not work well there. Here, down along the placket. That's neat. So it was pretty, and it's cheap, and it was simple. So that was cute. Let's see. We only have a couple more things in here. I have another bra that I got. Also, I think this was also old school Victoria's Secret. No, this wasn't as old, but it was in really nice shape. I think this is still older. Like this is not current, but it's not as old as the other pieces that I have. But I thought it was nice. It's a pretty bra. It's a nice color. It's a 36C, 36D. So I feel like that's it's a good size. And it's like a coral type of pink color. Pink. That was me trying to say peach and pink at the same time. It didn't really work, but pink. And then the straps got that kind of business going on. It's cool. So, and this was also $3. That was good. This thing, I don't think it had a tag. Like it doesn't have a brand tag in it. Maybe it does. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So this might be like 80s, but I thought it was such a pretty piece and it's very bohemian and like very much my style. So that's the tag. It was $4, so I paid $2, so how can you not get that? But look at it, it's just this very big sort of crochet knit, and then that's what the cuffs look like, and it's got that on the bottom too, and it was in really nice shape. So I got it. I really liked it a lot. It's very pretty. And it's sort of acrylic-y. I don't know if there's mohair in it. You could look at the tag again that I just showed you. That might tell me what's in it. Yeah, acrylic mohair nylon. So, but it's nice. It fits in very well with the general aesthetic of my shops. And then I've only got one item left. This thing is so freaking cute. It is a little baby doll sexy pants nightie set. And let's see. This is the little underwear. Look at that. Exercise. But the top is really cute. Let's see. Okay. So that's the top. And it's very short. And look at how swingy and cute that is. It is adorable. It's got that rose, which is fantastic. And even the label inside is really cool. I didn't look it up. It's called House of Valentine is the brand, but that label is amazing. So the set was $8, but I paid $4, 50% off day, and it's in really nice shape. And this is just, it's so freaking cool. I love this. And I love the fact that it's shorter. So it's just like this little cropped baby doll top with those little sheer panties. So that was everything that I picked up today. I do have 2 things actually that I got at Salvation Army yesterday. So let me show you those really quick. And I picked these up at Salvation Army yesterday, and that's when I saw the mid-century bar. And I saw it as I was leaving. They were closing, so I was leaving because they made me. And I saw the bar, and it was $100, and I was like, "What the hell am I going to do with that?" This, you know. And so then I took a picture of it because it's fantastic. So, and then I showed it to Lord, my boyfriend, and he was like, "Yeah, we have to get that." And then after we made the decision to get it, I looked some up on Etsy, and I saw 2 pieces that were similar, but they were only, so what I have is like a bottom part of the bar, and then there's like a panel that hangs up on the wall behind it. The ones I saw online were just the bottom part, and they were going, one was about 500 and one was about 700. So then, and they were both black. Now, showing available items on Etsy doesn't really indicate price as well because, you know, who knows if anybody would pay those prices for those items, but that's what I was able to go by. I tried looking on eBay today and I didn't find anything similar yet. But the fact that mine has the second piece to it makes it more valuable. And the fact that mine is an aqua color, I mean, it's just, you know, so that adds value to it as well. So we're talking about trying to sell it for around 700. I might try higher. I'm going to research it a little more before I make a decision, but we'll definitely, I mean, even if we flipped it for 200, that's like a no-brainer. So we're going to get it cleaned up. I'm not going to ship it. I'm going to sell it locally. So see how that goes. But my purchases that I made yesterday while I saw the bar, this is not something I would ever normally buy at all. It's a puffer jacket, and it's got like a print on it. Now, it's out of season for this, but the reason that I bought it is because of this. So Pilcrow and the Letterpress is a brand of denim that is sold through Anthropologie. I had never heard of them selling something other than denim or pants. It's pants usually. So I looked it up, and this particular jacket was not on eBay, but there was another Pilcrow puffer jacket that had been selling for like $50. So I paid $7 for this one. And this is a size large, which again is a good thing. And the sleeves zip off so that it could be a vest. So I thought that was a decent investment. And from what I could see, I was trying to look at the content tag when I was inside. I do not believe that it is down, which I feel like down would be a selling point, but I'm happy that it's not down because I don't like the process of harvesting the down, you know, because it's mean to the geese. Brutal, mean is, you know, whatever. It's not nice. So I'm happy about the fact that it doesn't seem to be down. And I just got the zipper stuck. So that was number 1. Not my style at all, but it's money. Money is my style. And then number 2, also something that I don't think is attractive at all, but it's Escada, and it is cashmere. So it's a jacket that I can't show. There we go. I mean, it's not terrible. You know, it's just not even remotely my style. It's very basic. It is like a modern-ish thing. You know, it's not terribly out of style. I looked on eBay. It's so hard to get comps because Escada has been around for so long. And they went through this period, especially in the 80s, where they were selling like really just hideous looking, I think they were hideous looking blazers. They were just boring and ugly. So there's a lot of that out there. So it's difficult to find pricing comps. I did not see this at all. So I'm probably going to try and stick this up on the higher side on eBay. I want to say I'm going to try around 80. I'm literally pulling that out of my ass. I have no idea, but I paid, what did I pay for this? I paid $5. So, you know, again, a lot of the other reselling channels talk about how people criticize them for, you know, oh, well, you say that you're going to make this much money, but you never tell us what you actually sold things for. I'm going to sell it for more than $5. So I don't care if you know what I sell it for or not. I'm not hiding anything, but I also am not psychic, and I don't have it together enough to come back to you later with like comprehensive sold videos. So I'm giving you best guess, and you can figure out whether or not you think you would spend $5 on that if you sold it for 5 or 10 or 60 or 200, you know, whatever. So that's that. But those are my prices. So, and I'll tell you like some stories too. I've been talking a lot about how I struggled coming back from vacation, trying to get back into the swing of selling things. And I was having a difficult time. And I finally started feeling like I was getting it together. So the past couple of days I've been listing some stuff, and I had a day where I did a bunch of photography. So that was pretty good. But I really wasn't, the sales still weren't kicking in, and that was a little bit depressing. And so yesterday I ended up posting like 10 or 11 things. I was really productive in the morning and got a bunch of stuff up, and like nothing. I had no sales all day, and I was depressed. And I think I was depressed because I ate like crap yesterday, and you know, so it was like a combination of things. And then I went to bed last night. I woke up this morning to like 3 sales, and then I made another 2 sales this morning, I think. So I was really excited because not only did I have a bunch of sales, but they were some nice hefty sales. I sold a pair of dead stock vintage denim. I think they were 1970s jeans. They were Cherokee, and I sold those for $125. I am not going to lie. I think that I got them at a Salvation Army, which means they would have been, I mean, like on the high end, they would have cost me $7. So those were a great profit. I didn't remember because I've had them for a really long time. When I got them, they smelled very musty. And I got 2 pairs of jeans. One was Cherokee and one was Wrangler Big Ben. So the Cherokee finally just sold, and I've had them up, I mean, minimum of 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to a year. But I sold them, and that was cool. I sold a lingerie jumpsuit for $49, which was great. And I think that I paid like $5 for that thing. And then I also sold a pair of 1980s high-waisted shorts. They're in this like spring colors gingham print. They're really cool. And those went for $35. And again, I paid around like $5 for them. And except for the dead stock, like the jumpsuit and the shorts were probably both in previous videos. So if I got the pricing wrong, I apologize, but I'm sure I told you what it was in some other video. If you are that diligent and want to go back and watch. So those all sold on Etsy, and I was super excited because it was a nice, you know, a nice boost to my sales ego after the past couple days. And then on eBay, I sold a Brooks Brothers tie. So it was a new old stock tie that had, this tag was still on it. It was marked at $95. I had it listed for $40 or best offer. And I had gotten a couple of offers on that tie. It may have been the same guy 2 different times, but I'm not sure. But both times I've received offers on it and went back and forth a couple times, but they were really low, you know. So I didn't end up selling. And then today it sold for a full price, which was fantastic. And then I also sold one of the Lucky Brand sweatshirts. But what's funny about that is that I have all these Lucky Brand sweatshirts that I got at an estate sale, and I have a few random ones that I've picked up in thrift stores and stuff. But I also had one that I had gotten at a thrift store a long time ago that I was just wearing because I didn't know that they were as cool as they supposedly are. I mean, I thought it was cool, but I didn't know it was like a thing. And it seems like the market has fallen out of the Lucky Brand sweatshirts a little bit, at least, because I'm not like, you know, I'm not getting the offers that I expected to get on them. But this particular one I had listed for $35. And it was one of the ones that was doing better on eBay, which is why I decided to list it, even though it was mine. I was like, whatever, I've got all these other stupid sweatshirts. I'm not so attached to it. So I listed it, and that is the only fucking one that has sold so far. I mean, which, yay, I got a best offer of $25. And I usually try to get around 75% of my asking price. So that would have been $27. So I just took it. I'm not going to argue over $2. I know, Bubba, what's up? Come here. Can you come here? So I made all those sales today and I got them all packaged up and shipped out. And that was great. And then we come home from thrifting and there's 2 packages for me in the mail. Now, one is a return that I was expecting, which is still sad. It was a Free People dress that I had for way too long. Somebody made me an offer. I accepted it. I was, yay, it's gone. And now she returned it. So that sucks because it was too big or didn't fit or something like that. So that was disappointing, but I knew it was coming. But then the second thing, I didn't know what it was. So it turns out that it's a jacket that I sold on Etsy for $135, and she didn't do a return request through Etsy, but that's kind of, Etsy's weird because you can, I think that because Etsy is all handcrafted stuff. Hold on one second. Elvis, come here, Baba. Don't do it. Boy. He was about to start a fight. Because Etsy was primarily handcrafted, I think that they tried to steer away from returns. So within the past year or so, I think, they sort of have a set of like standardized shop policies that you can adopt. And I think it's an all or nothing. You either just adopt their policies or you have all your own, but you can't have like, I mean, obviously you can make your own policies into theirs, but you can't like adjust theirs. So I was fine with all their policies. I set it up. So it has a return policy in there where you accept returns within blah, 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 this many days, whatever. So that's cool because it's, you know, buyers are responsible for shipping, et cetera. And obviously if I have something wrong with something, I would just refund the buyer the shipping too. If there was a problem, that was my fault. But for stuff like a size return, you know, you're not responsible for paying shipping if the buyer wants to return. So that's fine, but they don't really have a good return setup. Like through eBay, if I want to return something, I actually go in and I click on my item and I request a return through eBay's system and labels are generated and et cetera. Etsy doesn't have that. So it's essentially a conversation between the buyer and the seller. And what happens is somebody says, hey, can I return this thing? And then I'm like, sure, I'm so sorry, it didn't work out. Just mail it back to me at this address. And they mail it back. And when I get it back, I just go in and I process a refund for them. But even when you select the refund reason on Etsy, it doesn't give you the option of customer returned it. Like, it's so bizarre. So, all right, Elvis is going away. He might try and start fights again. So whatever. So anyway, I got this jacket back and I refunded her and I reactivated the jacket, but it's just fucking depressing. So it's like I got all these great sales this morning and then I had to spend almost as much as that to process returns today. So that sucks. But we did get a kick-ass bar this morning and it's in really nice shape. I am going to put it up on Instagram. If you want to look at it, it's not there yet. But if you want to look at it, my Instagram is @CatsandTatsVintage, CatsNTATS Vintage, all one word. And I'm going to post a picture of it there. I also post my daily sales numbers there, mostly daily. Sometimes I forget, but I've been putting my numbers up to try and motivate me to look at my numbers every day and remind myself that when you list things, you will make sales because it's a direct correlation. It's crazy how that works out, but it does. So I was pleasantly surprised by some of my numbers a while back and thought, you know what, let me start looking at these numbers daily and holding myself accountable by posting them publicly. And I haven't done well since then. But what's nice is that there are other people who aren't at that level yet and they get inspired by my numbers, which is really great. And that helps me too, so that's nice. So I do post those numbers there if you feel like looking at them. It sucks so much, my number. I hate the return. And the thing is too, that with the Etsy, what sucks is I think eBay takes your returns into account with your numbers, but I don't know that Etsy does. It's not like, I don't think that my numbers went down at all after I issued that return. So that sucks. But I am gonna post a picture of the bar, super fantastic. Don't look at it if you are prone to jealousy because you're probably going to be jealous. I'm kind of jealous of whoever is going to buy it for me because I would love to keep it, but we have no damn room. And even if I had room, like I could make room for this thing. I could find a way to make it happen, but you know, the cats, like they wouldn't purposely scratch on it, but they would definitely jump on top. And the bar has like this padded vinyl bumper on it, and that would eventually have claws stuck in it. So I just don't want to do that to a piece of like 1950s, 1960s furniture, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that is all I have for today. I am going to go post that photo on Instagram, and thank you all for watching. I do want to try and get some things listed today still to keep my momentum going from the sales. I was so gung-ho this morning, and then I came home to those fucking returns, and I'm like sad. But I'm not going to let it put me down because I had all those sales today, and that felt really great. It was funny because I woke up and had all these sales and then nothing all day again. Apparently my customers buy things in the middle of the night. That's usually what happens, but that's okay. So I'm going to try and get busy and get some photographs in the dark. It's the next time it's supposed to be sunny is Wednesday. And I think it was supposed to be sunny before that, but it keeps like moving forward. So whatever. So I'm going to have to try and get some smaller things where I don't have to worry about shadows with my lighting too much. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you have a great evening. And GNI pickers, I do not have any idea what that last thing is that you wrote. Just saying, it says GN and Habibi VPCS. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. But I hope that you guys all have a really productive day and a great week. And thank you for watching. If I can figure out how to stop this broadcast, yeah, be useful. Bye.